All right, good morning. It is Tuesday, the 9th of April, 2024. See when that webcam wants to start working again. But we do have a tornado warning. Specifically, those of you in Bertram, you need to move into a safe place. It's going to be a tornado warning for portions of Williamson and Burnett County. Specifically, those of you in Bertram, east of Burnett, need to be moving to a safe place as I get this webcam refreshed. I said in my roundup this morning, we'd have to see exactly how this materialized, and clearly we decided to do some spinny doom action at 10 in the morning, which is nice. I got a whole 2.5 hour nap, I think. But again, it is 10:12 a.m. on this Tuesday, the 9th of April, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. A tornado warning for portions of Central Williamson, West Central Williamson, Central Burnett counties until 10:30 a.m. A possible tornado located now about, let's say, 7 to 6 miles southwest of Bertram, moving northeast at about 25 miles per hour. You're going to have to give me a second, Jason. I have to get that opened on my desktop, which I'm doing right now. Alright, that's open on here. Get that open. You can see a pretty good couplet. This was more impressive as it was near Marble Falls, as I was roused from my little nap. Alright. But we're going to have to see if this couplet is able to intensify further. Regardless, it doesn't matter. This thing's still an impressive circulation. The potential for a tornado is evident. Now about 4 to 5 miles southwest of Bertram, moving northeast to 25 miles an hour. Sorry, let me get my stuff set up over here. We had one tornado warning yesterday in the state, southeast Texas, New Waverly at 3:30 in the afternoon. This morning, we've got a tornado warning with a circulation that looks quite much more impressive, and it's 10 in the morning. That's always a good omen, isn't it? I really hope that's not going to be the theme for today, but we'll see. That's what Mother Nature wants to do. But again, it is going to be a tornado warning for portions of western Williamson and eastern Burnett counties. This tornado warning does include Bertram and Liberty Hill. Those of you in Bertram and Liberty Hill on Highway 29, you're going to need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from window.
I got the thumbnails and all that extra stuff all set up now, sir.
Liberty Hill and Bertram, you need to be in a safe place on Highway 29. If you are in Burnett and east of Burnett on Highway 29, be in a safe place. Specifically, if you are on 29 east of Burnett through Bertram, Liberty Hill, you need to be in a safe place. We'd advise no travel right now on Highway 29 going west of Liberty Hill, east of Burnett, until the storm passes through. All right. Again, this looked much more impressive back towards Marble Falls. So I look through the radar data here. But the storm itself remains discrete, out by itself, and clearly in a position to where we could see a circulation re-intensify. That circulation is still there, mind you, but we're going to have to see what it does. It's likely in the occlusion phase, meaning it's weakening. The real question I have here, is this going to be the name of the game this morning, or was this an anomaly? So again, good morning. We'll zoom out. We'll take a look. You can see we've got flash flooding Salado, Temple, Troy, Waco, Hewitt, all the way up through Thornton, Groesbeck, Teague, Fairfield, Palestine. Clearly, in the 2.5 to 3 hours I got to, well, yeah, pretty much 2.5 hours of sleep I got, we did have new storms develop, and clearly we've done flash flooding. Here, I'll just switch the statewide view. We'll switch to the statewide radar. You can see we got scattered thunderstorms galore along a boundary, it looks like, or at least along an axis from near, oh, let's just say Bertram, Burnett, all the way down through Marble Falls, northeast through Belton, Bruceville, Eddy, Fairfield, all the way up through Palestine, Henderson, and to a lesser extent, Marshall. And you can see all these blue boxes here. These are flash flood warnings, meaning street flooding possible, all sorts of issues with that, rapid rises on creeks and streams. These are very efficient rain producers. Farther northwest, you can see we've got some storms in northwest Texas moving northeast. Those are capable of producing hail. And then the reason we're here already this morning for at least a short duration, I hope it's a short duration, is a supercell that is capable of producing a tornado near Bertram, west of Liberty Hill. This possible tornado now is east of Highway 281, approaching Highway 29. Probably going to be between Bertram and Liberty Hill. We're going to get some strong wind shortly in Bertram. The circulation much weaker than it was east of Fairland, south Burnett earlier. So the question here is this thing going to redevelop a circulation or not? That's the question. Clearly, it's still way out ahead of everything. It's an impressive-looking supercell. We're going to have to watch this carefully. It's still got a pretty good visual or reflectivity signature to it, so we'll have to see what the Weather Service in San Antonio decides to do. If this were to redevelop or develop a new circulation, it would be a downstream threat to places like Florence, Liberty Hill, possibly Jarrell. But also, this may have been crossing some sort of a boundary, which is why it's spun up. We'll see. And you can see here, we do still have a pretty good little kink in that rear flank downdraft. Right there, southeast of Bertram, west of Liberty Hill, looking at the which way the wind's blowing mode. When the velocity updates in a second, that's where I'd expect any sort of couplet to be. And yeah, there is an area of rotation, possibly a new area of rotation developing right there. So this may be what we call a cyclic supercell, where we do have multiple circulations develop. The first one weakens, new one develops, and this would be crossing over Highway 29 between Liberty Hill and Bertram. Bertram, Liberty Hill, you're going to need to be in a safe place. Burnett, you are clear from this. The city of Burnett, specifically this area of circulation, is east now of Burnett, moving away from the city of Burnett.
Just a heads up, Stephen Jones has just got his live stream up.
Okay. I see where Steven is. All right. Fine, CC. Y'all are okay. Hi. Are we just gonna all attack me, apparently? Y'all go lay down. Okay. Let's switch to the radar loop. I just want to see what things have looked like over the last hour or two. You can see we've had several flash flood warnings this morning already across central Texas, up into East Texas. We've got storms with hail in northwest Texas moving northeast. The first tornado warning of the day was the storm near Marble Falls, now approaching Highway 29 between Bertram and Liberty Hill in far eastern Burnett County, far western Williamson County. This will not be a threat to Round Rock, Georgetown. This is east of Highway 281. So places like Marble Falls, Burnett, you're clear. Bertram, you need to remain in a safe place. Liberty Hill, this is going to stay to your northwest. However, you need to remain in a safe place for now, as you are in the tornado warning. What is that? Farther north near Temple. Notice, I'm just looking at radar here. I see that signature near Temple. Yeah, a weak area of low-level rotation trying to set up near Troy now. But that's up with this cluster of storms. We'll keep an eye on it. Nothing that screams specific spinny doom at this point. The specific spinny doom issue we have is this storm near Bertram, the potential for low-level rotation, a new circulation developing now. Near Bertram on Highway 29. I don't think I'm going to get to go back to sleep. I think 2.5 hours is all I'm going to get this morning. Well, in that case, might as well start drinking the caffeine again. Let me get my stuff set up. Okay. So again, we're here already this morning because a tornado warning for far western Williamson County, far eastern Burnett County. This is in central Texas. This is well west of 35 for now. This is east of 281. Burnett and Marble Falls, you were in the tornado warning originally. You're clear to come out from this. Based on the behavior this storm is doing, I would not be surprised if the Weather Service of New Braunfels puts a new tornado warning on this that extends it downstream towards Florence. On its present trajectory, this may be a threat to Florence, Serenada, and maybe Gerald if it keeps up. Again, back to the which way the wind's blowing mode. What I'm looking at here is this area of modest but definitely discernible low-level rotation. It's kind of moving like that, it looks like, which would move it towards, again, passing southeast of Bertram, probably on Highway 29, about 3 miles northwest of Liberty Hill, and then moving it towards Highway 195. Between Florence and Serenada, passing north and west of Georgetown, but closer to Gerald eventually if we're still dealing with a low-level circulation by the time we get to Interstate 35. We've got flash flooding ongoing to the northeast, and again, we're going to focus on the most intense storms here. I need to knock that off. Okay, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Make sure we get this added to the playlist for coverage on Weather Center, and that'll ingest into the app. Okay, we just got a radar update, so is Yeah, you could definitely see we're still dealing with a supercell structure here. Just looking to see what the low-level velocity scan does. We'll get an update from that in a moment. Low-level circulation, probably very near County Road 322 on the Williamson-Burnett County line, up at Highway 29. That would place it between Liberty Hill and Bertram. The good news is the low-level circulation has become less discernible now in this latest scan. I mean, you can kind of still see it there, again, near County Road 329 and County Road 29. But less discernible, which is good news. All right, and we'll take a look at the high-res rapid refresh model in a minute. This tornado warning goes for what, another 3 minutes? And assuming they don't issue a new one, we'll take a look at the forecast for the remainder of today, tonight, when that comes out. But boy, that did change a little bit in a few hours, didn't it? Oh no, that's unfortunate. Okay, I see what we're going to be doing. I see what the 14 Zulu Her's throwing out. That'll be interesting. All right, I'm just catching up on situational awareness since I went to nap time at about 6:30. All right, so again, we have a tornado warning for about another 90 seconds, give or take, for what was a low-level circulation around Liberty Hill and Bertram. Now on Highway 29, crossing the San Gabriel, now crossing Highway 29 near County Road 322 in the next 5 minutes. But Salado, thank you. I'm hoping we're going to be done with this shortly. That being said, we may not be done for long. We'll see. This tornado warning will expire in a minute, and then we'll take a look at what we have going on across the remainder of the state. I don't think they're putting a new tornado warning out, which is good. Okay, so we'll let the 14 Zulu Her come on in. We'll be able to show it to y'all in just a minute. We'll switch back to the statewide view. We'll do some formalities. Good morning, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It's 10:30. We've got, well, the reason we were here, we had our first tornado warning of the morning, and a very impressive low-level circulation developed east of Marble Falls that made its way towards Bertram. That circulation has dissipated, and the tornado warning is bye-bye. But clearly, we've had flash flooding already this morning with this cluster of storms across portions of North Texas, southern North Texas, into portions of East Texas. And you can see we've got showers and thunderstorms well underway, producing heavy rainfall, bit of hail. We've got a few severe thunderstorm warnings there. That will continue, and we'll probably have more severe weather warnings as the morning goes on, the potential for some hail with that. Northwest Texas, we've got a cluster of storms, these also capable of producing hail. We had a 78-mile-an-hour wind gust in Knox City earlier. What? Okay. Why are we getting surface winds out here of 60 to 70 to 80 miles an hour? Great, we're mixing down wind at 9 in the morning. That's just great. You can see this cluster of storms here in northwest Texas, specifically Seymour. You could get some wind and hail here shortly. The potential for winds to 60, maybe some quarter-size hail. And then again, we had a tornado warning. We no longer have a tornado warning. I'm very happy about that. But we're going to stick around here for a few minutes just in case, and then we're going to have a look at the 14 Zulu Her, which should ingest here in my live stream in the next couple of minutes. And then with that, we can at least take a look at what the forecast is expected for the remainder of the morning and afternoon. I can go ahead and show you the severe weather outlook. Now, we're going to get a new one of these in about an hour from the Storm Prediction Center. Let me get rid of the radar. Let me get rid of all these labels here. I'm going to get rid of some of these cities. Zooming out, you can see, yeah, we've got the probability of scattered to numerous severe thunderstorms. Today, we're going to have a big cluster move through tonight. If you missed the Texas Weather Roundup a few hours ago, I wish it was more than a few hours ago. I got it. I wanted more of a nap. Anyway, life is life. The potential for scattered to numerous severe storms this afternoon, tonight, into Wednesday morning, especially across portions of the Rio Grande Plains, South Central Texas, Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, even portions of North Texas, Southeast Texas, East Texas. And again, that does include the potential for a few tornadoes at least. And clearly, the fact we've had what was probably a tornado already at 10 a.m. this morning is indicative of that. All right, let's see. What is this? Where's that boundary? Okay, I see that boundary is definitely more defined further to the northeast. Again, we're going to be watching for storms to move along an outflow boundary located a little bit south of this cluster of ongoing storms across central Texas, southern North Texas, the northern Brazos Valley. I think what we had happen a little earlier, like 20 minutes ago, was this storm that was tornado warned was able to hit that boundary, enhance its low-level wind shear, and spin up a circulation. It may have moved north of the boundary, and thus that low-level circulation has dissipated, but we're still going to watch it. So no more tornado warning, but it's moving towards Bell County with heavy rain, gusty winds, hail. Knock my bit rate down a little bit. We're going to watch it carefully. Now, let's see if I can load the Her. Not yet. I want to load the 14 Zulu Her specifically. So yeah, we're going to have more storms. It's going to be a busy day, probably. We've got flooding issues. Potential for severe storms capable of producing damaging winds, hail, apparently a few tornadoes at least. I'll just let this continue over the last hour. Again, you can see we've even got some hailers and wind makers, northwest Texas. We got some good rain, though, across portions of the Panhandle, West Texas. We'll see more rain develop out there this morning. That's good. We need the rain out there. That is a blessing for sure. We could go without the severe weather issues. But you got to go with what you're given. What I'm doing now, I'm just waiting for that 14 Zulu Her to load in here. Probably just needs another few minutes.
I want to thank IXTJ for the super chat. It is pronounced burn it.
Burn it. Thank you. Salado, burn it. Appreciate it. I'll turn the audio down here now, just to make sure the next time we have a warning issued, it doesn't blow speakers out. Yeah, well, clearly, if we needed a demonstration, which we did not.
Check your volume, sir. David, you're muted.
Okay, that was interesting. Let's not do that again, please. I gotta refresh the webcam. I don't know what caused that, folks. That might have been a USB issue. But clearly, the computer did not like me playing with the cords to fix that. So, that was interesting. If we can not do that again, I'd appreciate it. So I was saying, the first storm of the day can sometimes tell a story. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. And clearly, the story we got this morning was any storm near that outflow boundary, even if it's 10 in the morning, is going to be a problem in the Spinny Doom department. And we're going to have to keep that in mind as we go into the afternoon. Let's see, her, please be in. Yay, the her's in. We get to look at the forecast. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out to the state. We're going to turn everything off. I'm going to switch the upper third on here. We're going to hit that button. What I'm going to do is we're going to load the her model for 11 a.m. I just want to see how this model's doing. Fix that upper third. Hey, model, load. Thank you. Now, it's doing okay. Now, again, this model's not going to be perfect, but it's got the kind of got the cluster of storms going on down here. It's got the scattered storms up in the northeast Texas, northwest Texas. So, again, I just want to see what this does for the remainder of the day. And again, this is not to be super specific. This is not for me to say, like, you're going to have a storm over the 8th blade of grass in your backyard at 11:04 a.m., but it's for me to try to figure out and at least convey to y'all what we expect for the remainder of today. I'm going to let that data load for just a second, and we're going to go frame by frame, talk through it, and then I will be happy to let the animation play out, and that'll give y'all a sense of timing, direction, etc. So, you can see, here's what this model has at noon. Showers and thunderstorms, the Panhandle, West Texas, maybe some gusty winds, but otherwise not really anything too severe, which is a blessing. That's not what I wanted. Here's noon. You could see the possibility of some scattered heavy storms. Some of these may be producing hail, gusty winds across the Concho Valley, the Big Country, portions of central Texas and northern Brazos Valley. Notice as we continue into early this afternoon, some of these storms continue to look quite intense. Southern North Texas, the northern Brazos Valley, into the Big Country, probably in proximity to an outflow boundary. That may end up being a little farther south than this model is depicting, but again, notice heavy storms continue through the afternoon hours, and then we start to see some individual supercells fire up across central Texas around dinner time. Possibility for some heavy storms, maybe severe in East Texas at dinner time. Strongest of these storms could produce large hail, damaging winds, perhaps a few tornadoes. If they are in south of an outflow boundary, south of the rain-cooled air we have this morning, we're going to have to watch it carefully. If any of these storms latch onto that boundary by this evening, we're going to have issues with tornadoes. If they're north of that boundary, mainly a hail issue. Then you can see we're going to have these storms continue into the late night. But guess what? There's more. We're going to have a big old cluster of severe storms develop across the Rio Grande Plains. That's going to race northeast late tonight and Wednesday morning towards the coastal plains, the coastal bend, south central Texas, into southeast Texas, the Brazos Valley. That cluster of storms you see originating around Laredo, that's going to make it in Louisiana by probably 8 to 9 a.m. Wednesday. It's going to race across the Brazos Valley, southeast Texas, the Victoria Crossroads tonight. Early Wednesday morning, the potential for hurricane-force wind gusts to 80 miles an hour, the potential for wind-driven hail, the potential for spin-up tornadoes. So for those of y'all thinking it's going to be a quiet day on I-10 between San Antonio and Houston, it very well may. Y'all may be quiet most of the day. And then you're going to get annihilated by storms at about 3 a.m. Wednesday. So heads up with that. We have no tornado warnings at this time. We have a few severe thunderstorm warnings. Storms in the Panhandle, West Texas, being pretty efficient with the wind this morning. We've got Northwest Texas, storms approaching Wichita Falls, riding up the highway from Seymour. Those could have some small hail, heavy rain, strong winds. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning around the city of Athens. That's going to be the potential for quarter-size hail, it looks like. We'll go ahead and quit the animation. Zoom in. I think I just crashed the radar program. Apparently, I have a very temperamental computer this morning. It's very annoying. Okay, we're going to restart the radar program. As I was saying before the program so rudely interrupted me, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning for severe storms near Malakoff to Log Cabin, moving northeast towards the city of Athens, the potential for quarter-size hail. Wind gust to 60 miles an hour. Showing a pretty good amount of wind, honestly. I believe that is elevated. But again, those of you from Malakoff to Log Cabin, you might have some quarter-size hail right now that's moving quickly northeast at about 25 miles an hour towards the city of Athens. Up then Highway 31 towards Brownsboro. Eventually, this could move towards Edom in about an hour if it's still going. More heavy rain, more flooding from Tyler. Back southwest, we got heavy storms on I-35 all the way from Hillsboro through Waco, Temple. Jason, come on here and tell me how to say... I'm going to say it as Salado again. You're going to have to tell me what it was again because I have the memory of a squirrel. Then heavy rain all the way down I-45 from Buffalo to Fairfield to Corsicana. Flash flooding. Not particularly pleasant travel conditions, but nothing that is showing, severe weather at this point in terms of quarter-size hail or larger. Winds over 58 miles an hour or higher. With my luck, Jason probably is dealing with the child. All right. Child.
As burn it.
Child.
As burn it.
Child.
As burn it.
Well, yeah, I know burn it, but I meant, all right. Let's go to Northwest Texas. Little storm. It's actually a little line segment up 277, capable of producing quarter-size hail, winds 60 miles an hour or higher. That's going to say hello to Wichita Falls in the next hour, so y'all and from Electra to Wichita Falls, congrats. You're going to get rain, probably some hail, strong winds. No spinny doom issues with that. Alright, let me see. I don't think the Warn-On forecast system's going to be running this early. No, that was optimism. First run's at noon. It's not even 10:50 yet. Alright, let's see what the storm scale, or the statistical severe convective risk assessment model is showing. I shouldn't have looked. That indicates a busy day. We'll let this we'll let this play out. Starting to see a bit of a low-level circulation develop near Florin.
David, you're muted. As I want to thank IXTJ for the super chat. It is pronounced burn it. Check. Muted once again. Yes, Mr. David, having some issues technologically today, but we forgive you. Sarah says that every time the thunder tone plays, that the microphone gets muted somehow. And you're still muted.
I am still muted, but I'm not muted anymore. No, it's like the US. I almost think I have a bad cord, but something's going on with the USB drivers on this or something. I don't know why it hates me so much. But noted, we have a period of quiet here in a bit. we're going to deal with that. I think I'm having an angry driver issue, which is great, so we'll have to update that in a minute. Yay. But again, we're expecting storms, flooding to continue. Southern North Texas, East Texas, through the early afternoon hours. You can see those blue boxes. We got flash flood warnings. We've got a tornado watch through 5 p.m. for Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, pretty much from San Marcos, College Station to Crockett, and then south of a line from Kingsland to Waco to Corsicana. Main concern for tornadoes, at least over the next several hours, will be on the southern periphery of this rain or cluster of storms where an outflow boundary has emerged to help enhance low-level wind shear. But again, these storms, this band capable of heavy rain, high wind, and at times quarter-size hail. So my plan is, Jason, for what it's worth, yeah, we got some high winds in Athens. Jason, for what it's worth, if we don't have any tornado warnings at 11, I'm probably going to let this go for a little while. I'm going to install a few drivers. I'd almost optimistically say maybe I'll get a nap again, but I don't know if I'm going to trust it that much.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
But clearly, I need to update a few drivers on here. After the live coverage last night, after my video client kept crashing, I went in to update some graphic drivers. That didn't go as well as I wanted it to, so apparently I still need to update some more drivers or reinstall some drivers because something's not playing nice and keeps cutting off the USB to this microphone every few minutes. But again, blue boxes here, flash flood warnings. Again, we've got a lot of heavy rainfall. We're going to have issues with flooding. It may not be as sexy as, hail, wind, tornadoes, but flooding is severe weather, just as fire weather is severe weather. And we've got flash flood warnings all the way from Shreveport, Louisiana through, well, we did for Longview and Tyler. Tyler, you're going to get another one here in a minute with that heavy rain coming in from the west. We got flash flood warnings from Corsicana through Fairfield, back southwest through Mahia, down through Waco to Gatesville to Killeen to Temple to Belton. Aren't y'all happy this is happening now and not 24 hours ago before eclipse time? Ooh, do you imagine? Oh, boy. But again, we have no tornado warnings. We got some storms with hail. These are efficient wind producers. And apparently even north of the outflow boundary, places like Athens were able to mix down some of these winds rather efficiently, along with some hail. Showing some wind near Chilton, moving towards Marlin. But at this point, we have no low-level circulations, no indications of strong low-level rotation. I'm checking on my source real quick. And as long as we have these heavy storms moving over the same areas, the flooding threat's going to get higher and higher and higher, and we're going to have problems with that. Okay, Chilton. Stop that. When I say storms north of the outflow boundary, I mean in the rain-cooled air. And typically, that means the threat for tornadoes is lower. Put this panel back together. But one thing
For what it's worth, Stephen Jones has a look at least at like the shelf cloud coming into Marlin area.
Set that up on here real quick. So y'all just bear with me a second. I'll get that switched over. Should be able to do that without too much fuss, I hope. Maybe. I just need to update the NDI source.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Rebecca G, for that super chat of $20.
Go.
Rebecca says, please get this boy a double shot from Starbucks, because you are very well needed today in Shelby County.
All right, there we go. There's a shot from Steven. Get the location. He is in lot. We did have a little circulation try to spin up northwest a lot for what it's worth. That's where I was just looking, which was where we had a circulation trying to spin up. I don't really see anything. I don't see anything from Steven. Besides some scary looking clouds. Definitely a lot of heavy rain and flooding out here.
Nevermore's Playground, thank you for the super chat, helping bring the community and money for food.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, so we have no tornado warnings. We have a plethora of flash flood warnings. Flash flooding is going to be a big issue across portions of central Texas, southern North Texas, into east central Texas today. Again, that's what all these blue boxes are. These are flash flood warnings. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for the city of Athens, the potential for some hail, some strong winds there. Heavy rain, probably flash flooding around there now too. And again, I'll just let this go back to this.
So just to let you know, Stephen Jones' shot seems really cropped, more skewed to the top left, kind of like Adams was yesterday. I don't know if he fixed it.
Well, fixing things would be optimistic. Technically, I just need to switch to that new scene again. But I need to get that added. I'll do that during a break. Ooh, thank you very much, Duke. I do need chocolate-covered almonds, definitely. No, there is the storm over Athens is rotating, but we don't expect tornado issues with that storm in Athens. This big cluster of rain across central Texas, generally speaking, excluding that southern storm earlier that spun up, has this is all in a more rain-cooled air mass near the surface, which is what we call elevated thunderstorms, which helps to lower the threat for tornadoes, but still heavy rainfall, some hail, still enough oomph to push down some winds. All right. Let me see if I can get Stevens. Feed. Y'all are going to get to see some magic real quick.
Nevermore's Playground wants to know how the Burnett storm is doing. Of course, he or she sent a nice super chat, so
Burnett storm, good news is no longer severe. Burnett, you're clear. We're watching that thunderstorm approach Interstate 35 around Gerald. At this point, it has what's called a shear axis. I'll show that in just a second. I'm getting this chase feedy set up. That should fix that, hopefully. I hope I didn't just bust the mic. Oh, the
There's a
mic's
tornado warning now in the state of Texas. Let's see here.
Okay, they did just warn the Athens storm. I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm wrong. Whoever said rotation, guess what? You get a cookie. It's going to be a tornado warning. That's what I need to open GR Earth. All right, well, apparently, that's close enough to being surface-based. Okay, it's going to be a tornado warning. This is going to be for eastern portions of Henderson County, southeastern Van Zant County until 11:45 a.m. So let me switch to the radar up here. Probably, let me see which one's closer. It might be Shreveport. Might not be. Nah, we're still Fort Worth. All right, this tornado warning is for the northeast sides of Athens. Let me look from Shreveport. It might have a better look at this. Yeah, kind of. This tornado warning does include Murchison, Brownsboro, Chandler, Edom, Highway 31, northeast sides of Athens, up towards the Smith County line. I'm a little surprised they put a tornado warning out, to be honest, because honestly, I thought this was elevated. I mean, it's 61 over 57, so you'd think it's elevated. North of an outflow boundary. I'm a little surprised they put a tornado warning out, to be honest with you, but okay. Well, I guess still you got to respect it. Yeah, it had a pretty decent couplet a second ago, I guess. That's gone. I'm not sure that wasn't de-aliasing. Regardless, again, a tornado warning for southeastern Van Zant, northeastern Henderson counties until 11:45 a.m. That'll probably get canceled well before 11:45. Those of you in Murchison, Brownsboro, Chandler, Edom, Redland, go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, this storm capable of producing maybe a quick spin-up tornado. Gusty winds, heavy rain. And yeah, you can see we do have some rotation here, but as I turn on surface observations, this is north of an outflow boundary. I'm showing temperatures low 60s, dew points upper 50s. That's not exactly what we would call optimal spinny doom low-level environment, but you got to respect the warning, and I mean, there you go. So again, tornado warning for northeastern Henderson, southeastern Van Zant County until 11:45. A possible brief tornado on Highway 31 near Murchison, maybe just southwest. Moving towards Brownsboro, Chandler, Redland, Edom. Gusty winds, heavy rain, small hail as well. I'm not exactly confident this is a situation where we have something, but the Weather Service in Fort Worth felt it was warranted enough to put a tornado warning out. So there we go. Back in Central Texas, we'll make sure we're not missing anything. Again, this is the storm that was near Burnett, Bertram. See, this is what I mean by a shear axis, by the way. I'll point it out. This is a north-south oriented. You got winds moving towards the radar in Granger. There in green. Red. That's a shear axis, north to south orientation. As we take a look at... And if this were to change from horizontal like it is right now, it'd start to swing out and instead look like start to do something like this horizontal, that's where I'd be real concerned about a circulation spinning up. But for now, we're doing okay. We're going to watch it, though. Back up here. Yeah, I'm not sure that's not de-aliasing. Okay. 8,800 feet from the Fort Worth radar. Regardless, we're looking the mid-levels of the storm here. We're not looking the low levels. The closest radar's 90 miles away. What I'm doing is we'll switch back to the which way the wind's blowing mode. Again, this almost looks like de-aliasing to me. That's from the Fort Worth radar. We'll look from the Shreveport radar. I mean, yeah, it's rotating aloft, but the question is that making it down to the surface? Yeah, we're still going to get a better look from Fort Worth. Regardless, damaging winds can't rule out a spin-up tornado along Highway 31 near Murchison, moving towards Edam. The way this looks now, this is going to stay north of 31, moving closer to Edam, which would keep it north of Chandler and Brownsboro, unless this storm takes a right, in which case it would ride 31 towards Brownsboro. But as it is now, Murchison, this is near you. Y'all are probably getting some nasty wind. Moving up towards Edam. And yeah, there is an area of rotation, but we're also looking, the closest radar is, again, 90 miles away. We're looking 9,000 feet above the ground here. We're looking in mid-levels. Every one of these storms is going to be spinning like a top today in the mid and upper levels. The question is this making it down to the low levels? And the reason I have some uncertainty over that is temperatures are in the upper 50s to low 60s. Dew points are in the upper 50s. That's not a typical tornadic environment. This is north of an outflow boundary, which would also indicate this storm might be slightly elevated, reducing the threat of a tornado. But you got to respect that. And again, we got flash flood warnings all the way back southwest. Corsicana, Fairfield, Hubbard, Mahia, West, Waco, Lorena, Rizal, Marland, Troy, Lott, Temple, Killeen, Gatesville. Unfortunately, more storms coming in from the southwest. The flooding's only going to get worse. So again, definitely not your typical tornadic-looking thunderstorm, but a possible tornado near Murchison, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour towards Edam. We'll just leave it on the velocity mode, honestly. You can see, if we had a tornado, it would probably be northeast of Murchison now. Moving like this towards Edam, Brownsboro. So if you're in Athens, you're clear from this. Athens, you'll have more storms, but you're clear from this tornado warning. So if you're in Athens, you can continue about your morning. If you're in Brownsboro, Edam, Redland, and Chandler, you need to take your tornado safety precautions. We might have a spin-up tornado here. The potential for, spin-up tornadoes. So tornado safety precautions, that will be your lowest floor. Center room, away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Let me set up my Stream Deck here. All right, we got that set up. Thank you to all our moderators. They probably have just as little sleep as I do, so we definitely appreciate all our moderators helping to keep the chats orderly, share information. You've got Storm Chaser Stephen Jones. He was in Arkansas yesterday for the eclipse. Now he is chasing today You've got meteorologist Jason Cooley on the back end of things. You've heard his voice from time to time. He provided me with a very pleasant wake-up alarm at 10 a.m. Yeah, you can see that area of rotation.
Hello. Hey.
What time is it? 11? 11! Hey, it's 11:11! Oops, sorry. Digression. So far, XSplit's doing okay. We don't have that memory leak we had yesterday, so maybe I did fix that driver issue and just made more driver issues. So again, the possibility of a spin-up tornado now. This would be very near FM 1803 in proximity to, or maybe a mile north of Highway 31 near the Kickapoo Creek Stream. This is going to be crossing FM 314 between Edam and Brownsboro. We're looking about 9,000 feet above the ground here, so unfortunately there's some tilt involved in storms, so that's why I don't want to get too specific here, because by the time you go from 9,000 feet down to the surface, this could be a mile north or a mile south of where the radar is showing it at 9,000 feet because of the inherent tilt in thunderstorms. Steven, your stream is looking really good. Wow. Stop it!
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Nolan County in Texas.
I think my actual volume settings for just my complete speakers actually influences that, so I just turned that down. Oh, where do we have a severe thunderstorm warning? What? What's going on? Near Sweetwater. So again, those of you in Brownsboro, Edam, you need to be in a safe place. That'll be lowest floor. Center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. All right, let's go take a look at the severe storm back near Abilene. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get to go back to sleep. That is real disappointing. What is this? Are we really doing these supercell out in West Texas? We are. There's one near Rawls. Oh, it's not even 11:30 yet. We're doing this nonsense already. Great. Well, say good morning. It's supercell. South of Sweetwater, north of Blackwell, about to cross Highway 153. Honestly, this probably has golf ball size hail with it. That's going to be moving northeast towards Trent and Merkel on Interstate 20, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Yeah, it has a hook, but yeah, technically a little bit of low-level rotation, but at the same time, what's the temperatures out here? It's 50 degrees. Yeah, we're not doing tornadoes in the big country. It's literally in Sweetwater right now, northeast wind at 20 miles an hour. It's 51 degrees with a dew point of 48. These are elevated hailers north of a cool front. So hail, yes. Wind, yes. Tornadoes, not out there. Wichita Falls, y'all are getting heavy rain, maybe some small hail, gusty winds. You're going to get more from a little line segment, southwest Archer City, north of Olney, north to Holiday, and that little stuff's moving northeast at 30. All right, let's check Central Texas real quick. What is this? Yeah, we got a spin up. All right, so we're starting to see a circulation spin up again. Just west of Salado. So we may need a new tornado warning here in a minute. That's going to be for this circulation trying to spin up again. Just west of Salado. That is going to be moving east-northeast towards Salado, Belton, Little River. No tornado warning right now, but we're starting to see a bit of a low-level circulation develop again about, I'm going to say 2 miles southwest of Salado. Remember a minute ago when I was talking about the shear axis and how as long as it stayed north-south oriented, we were okay, but if it started doing something like this, we might have an issue? That's kind of what I'm looking at right here with this little appendage. That's a little inflow notch, so we're going to need to watch that carefully. So heads up, Salado. If that intensifies, they'll probably have to put a tornado warning on that again. All right, a tornado warning continues now for portions of eastern Henderson, or let's rephrase that, northeastern Henderson, southeastern Van Zandt counties, and portions of central Texas. The possibility of, yeah, they're going to need to put a tornado warning west of Salado. A possibility of, well, there's no more tornado warning. That's been canceled. Good news. So tornado warning for Murchison, Brownsboro, Edom is gone. No more tornado warning. It's canceled. You got gusty winds. You got heavy rain, small hail, no tornado warning. So we're going to focus back down here on this thing, trying to spin up northwest or west of Salado now. You can see a little weaker now in the latest scan, but we're going to keep a very close eye on this. The potential for strong winds, low-level rotation. You can see that little appendage right there, and to be fair, we have one down here closer to Gerald, too. In fact, if I switch back to velocity, you can see we have a velocity couplet there, too. So apparently, we're just going to be doing this. So we technically have a low-level circulation near Gerald trying to spin up. We have a low-level circulation just west of Salado trying to spin up. Both of these moving east towards Little River Academy, Holland, Bartlett. And both of these, if they intensify, will require tornado warnings. I am not happy about this. Okay. Let me make sure check my power settings here. We're okay. So again, both these little circulations trying to spin up. I see the little appendages. My Stream Deck just quit updating. That's very rude. There we go. Up. Yeah, something's going on with my power for my USB devices. I might have to hit some things. All right, let me check. So again, watching this stuff. By low-level circulations, I mean one near Gerald, one less so near Salado now. Back to the how hard it's raining mode, you can see both have little appendages. Neither are particularly strong areas of low-level circulation, but given what transpired a bit earlier near Marble Falls, we're going to keep an eye on these because my trust level with this is about as high as my trust level with a 2-year-old trying to stick their finger in an electric socket. Don't see any other low-level circulations right now. I'm looking on my device, or my other monitors. We got GR Earth open now, so that'll squeal like a pig if we get any warnings. Let me open up this. There's your update, back to the velocity mode. Yeah, there is something there, low-level rotation-wise. Keep in mind, the radar we're looking from, the Granger radar, literally bottom of your screen right there. I'll show you just how... what the radar beam is. With the Athens storm, we were looking at 9,000 feet from Fort Worth. With this, we're looking at 800 feet. Goes without saying, that is a very good low-level look. The potential for a tornado warning is increasing for this circulation now northeast of Gerald, moving towards Holland and Bartlett. Okay, I'm setting up another radar screen so I can keep an eye on this stuff in North Texas just in case. But again, would not be shocked at all if the Weather Service of New Braunfels, I guess technically this would be right in, or worse, CWA, if they put a tornado warning out on this area of circulation that's headed towards Holland. It's close. We'll see. But again, let me zoom out real quick because, as many of you have pointed out, we have significant issues with flooding. We got pouring rain, Temple, Belton, Colleen, Troy, Hewitt, Waco, Mart, Groesbeck, Mahia, Fairfield, Tige, Buffalo, Thornton, Groesbeck. Oh, how do you say cost? Oh no, we're doing this again. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to have to hit something. My USB devices are... I definitely messed a driver up. That's why the mic goes out from time to time, because the USB driver keeps resetting the USB devices every couple minutes. Coos. All right. So again, these blue boxes are flash flood warnings. I'm going to reset this radar real quick because it upset the delicacy. We're going to get a new outlook from the Storm Prediction Center.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Archer County in Texas.
That's northwest Texas. That's a storm up here. Archer City, hail, gusty winds. What I'm looking at is this little thing, this little appendage. Northeast of Gerald now. A little spin-up circulation about 3 miles northeast of Gerald. Yeah, you can see it. I'll just use base velocity for that. It's even tighter now. We'll go ahead and put on a...
Cossie, thank you so much for several folks letting us know.
Cossie. Thank you. I may know how to read radar data, but I'm really bad at pronouncing things. So thank you to all those. Appreciate it. I'm willing to bet I'm going to forget in 5 minutes and have to get told again, but Cossie. This circulation coming up to Gross Neck Road, Hackberry Road, Lindenman Road. Okay. 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 So again, that's your low-level circulation. Again, we're looking, the radar's right down the street in Granger, so that's why we're able to see this so well. No debris signature. There's not even a tornado warning right now, but there might be, and if they do, it's going to include Holland. This little circulation moving towards Holland at this point. Potential for a quick spin-up tornado on the leading edge of this little line segment. We've got a pretty good hailstorm approaching Archer City in northwest Texas, western North Texas. 11:20 a.m., a severe storm located from 4 miles east of Lake Kickapoo to 5 miles northeast of Olney, moving east at 30. Again, that's about to roll into Archer City, Scotland. Windthirst could have quarter-size hail, strong winds. And again, what the radar's looking at here is a low-level circulation located now about 5 miles northeast of Gerald, 5 miles southeast of Salado, moving towards Salado, Holland. No, the microphone didn't break. I just muted it so I could obnoxiously burp. Okay, looks like we're getting a radar update. You'll see that here in just a second. We'll switch back over to the which way the wind's blowing mode, and that's what we're looking at. So again, we have no tornado warnings. Circulation's a little less intense now. We're just nitpicking at these things, trying to throw darts at a dartboard. All right, there we go. Yippity, yippity, yippity doo.
Take a look at that Archer City storm. That looks like a nasty reflectivity core. Probably big hail.
But, Dad! This is what happens when you get your team Zello.
Also, I dare say that my comms volume is a little bit low on the mixer.
There, I turned it up. Merry Christmas. I don't exactly have an easy way to turn the volume up and down for individual sound sources on this. It's just using the speakers, so. Kosai. No tornado warning for Tyler. Just more heavy rain. Alright, let's take a look at the hail in Archer City, because y'all in Archer City want to play. Good, because it's 11:30. Who doesn't like getting to play with hail? This storm, quarter-size hail, the potential for localized damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. Put it this way, a tornado watch means, related to... Jason, what's the descriptor for watch versus warning in the taco department? I'll let you do it, I'll butcher it. But again, Archer City, quarter-size hail at least, coming on into town, could have wind gust over 60 miles an hour. I think we have a mesonet station there, so we're going to find out pretty quick. Storm east Wichita Falls, moving towards Dean, up Highway 79, towards Petrolia and Byers. You're going to get some rain out of that. Merry Christmas, wind, small hail. Back into Central Texas, let's take a look at our little spinny thing. See a little area spin coming up to Hackberry Road, west of Holland. No tornado warnings, but we're watching it carefully. Well, Mr. Yason seems to be incapacitated, so think of it this way. Watch, you've got the ingredients to make your taco. A warning, your taco is made and it's time to eat. So tornado watch means conditions are favorable for the development of spinny doom dooms. A warning means, oh, spaghetti-o, and it's time to take your tornado safety precautions, which would be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We have no tornado warnings right now. What we're going to have shortly is the new severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll see if there's any significant changes with that. That'll be out soon. And by soon, probably the next several minutes. Let's take a look at the state. At least give you all an idea what these storms are doing in terms of motion. And yeah, I don't think I'm going back to sleep. Which is okay. Y'all in Archer City are about to have issues with hail. Y'all get Archer City, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is it's about to rain. The bad news is y'all get to be our guinea pigs to tell us how big the hail is. Radar thinks there's golf ball size hail. Y'all get to tell us if it's actually golf balls or if it's nickel to quarters. It's also possible it's just enough nickel to dime to quarter size hail to make it look like it snowed. You're going to find out pretty quick. Congratulations. Yeah, Dallas, you're probably going to have more storms today. Are they necessarily going to be severe? You could have some hail. I don't think Dallas is going to be doing tornadoes again. How real time is the radar? This is the data within a couple minutes. No tornado warnings at this point in the state of Texas. When we're using the zoomed-in high-res radar, that's as real-time as it gets. The data comes in as soon as it comes in from the radar. And it updates about every 2 to 3 minutes generally. I just want to see what the weather's doing today. I just want to see what's going on. Hey. I'm just waiting for the new severe weather outlook to say what's going on for you, what's going on for me. So we have no tornado warnings. We have a lot of flash flooding in portions of southern North Texas, Killeen up to Waco to Fairfield to Corsicana. as more storms develop. Or flooding. And yeah, we're probably going to have tornado warnings today. I'm just waiting for the severe weather outlook. Oh, mesoscale convective discussion. Well, that's works too, I guess. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. It looks like they're thinking of issuing a severe thunderstorm watch for northwest Texas and north Texas for hail. Yeah, the tornado warning northeast of Athens was going to go till 11:45, but it was canceled early, so no tornado warnings. I got a 2.5 hour nap-ish. I mean, I'll let you know. Let me see what my smartwatch says. About 2.5 hours, I think, but I'm curious myself. That new severe weather outlook out yet? No, it's not. Okay. Again, you can see it's raining. Panhandle, West Texas. We have nothing severe out here. We've got some storms with small hail, gusty winds. Good beneficial rains. That's good. We got flash flood warnings. All these blue boxes are flash flood warnings. We got a severe storm near Archer City with hail. We have no tornado warnings. And so we're doing okay. Oh no, my watch seems to think I got 3 hours and 11 minutes of sleep. Wow. From 2.5 to 3. There you go. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Okay, so yeah, none of these storms in Central Texas, North Texas are considered severe right now.
Just got a new SPC Day 1 Outlook update.
We did. I'll show it in a minute. It takes a few minutes to ingest into the system here. We do have a couple severe storms back out in the big country, northwest Texas. These could have hail, quarter size-ish. Winds to 60 miles an hour. One storm in Archer City. One storm well southeast of Sweetwater. Let's just say 10 to 15 miles southeast Sweetwater. We got storms in West Texas. We got rain in the Panhandle. Hallelujah. And you can see most of this activity is moving northeast. Same goes for this activity, Central Texas. Let me see if we have a new high-res rapid refresh model run in. And if so, we'll show that. Then we'll show the severe weather outlook. Oh, we do. Yay. So we're going to turn all that off. At this point, if things can stay somewhat not eccentric, I might be able to go get myself a burrito. But first, let's take a look at the high-res rapid refresh model. All right, we're going to press that, we're going to press that, we're going to press that. All right, so, like we always like to do in the land of super duper awesome Blossomville, if y'all thought my making up words earlier last night was, or yesterday was bad, try doing it on less sleep. It's going to get worse, trust me. Okay, so here's what the high-res rapid refresh model shows at noon. We just want to see how well it's doing in terms of accuracy. Honestly, not too bad, so I'm happy with that. What we're going to do is we're going to look at what it shows for storms. We're going to walk through it step by step, and then I'll play it by animation so y'all can get an idea of the direction. So let's just look at 2 p.m. You can see it's raining in the Panhandle, it's raining in West Texas, it's raining in Northwest Texas. Technically, it's raining in the borderland and far West Texas, too. We have what could be strong thunderstorms producing big flooding, but also maybe some severe storms. East Texas, Northeast Texas, back southwest in the northern Brazos Valley. Notice it keeps that band of storms we have now going just a little further southeast. Here's 4 p.m. New storms trying to fire up back farther west and some clearing around Brownwood. We're going to have to watch that. Otherwise, the potential for some rowdy thunderstorms. East Texas, back into the Brazos Valley. Some of these could have hail, gusty winds. Can't rule out a couple of tornadoes. Here's 6 p.m. Same story. It's kind of pushing that outflow boundary further southeast. 8 p.m. you can see a couple storms with hail. Can't rule out a tornado. Gusty winds, central Texas, east Texas. 10 p.m. Quieter, really, across portions of north central Texas. Or, let me rephrase that. It's quieter, but we still have some storms producing maybe hail. Now, as we get to midnight, take a look. We're going to have storms firing up. Central Texas, south central Texas, into the Rio Grande Plains, the Edwards Plateau. And then we have storms moving into Oklahoma. Oh, that's going to anger the dogs. And again, I'm going to put this in an animation when we're done looking frame by frame so y'all get a general gist. 2 a.m., we could have scattered severe storms. South Texas, south central Texas, moving towards the coastal bend, the coastal plains, the Brazos Valley, east Texas. 4 a.m., severe storms, the coastal plains, southeast Texas. Capable of damaging winds. Quarter to golf ball sized hail. Maybe a few tornadoes. Okay, so let's play loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-doo. I'm going to load the animation for you. Give me just a moment for the data to play, and you can see what's going to happen to you. And again, this is just a weather model. Don't take it verbatim, which means don't take it literally. Don't expect it to rain at exactly 3:58 p.m. on the 8th blade of grass in your front yard and the 6th blade of grass in your backyard. Just take it for what it is, a tool that at least gives an idea of when you may have rain in your area. That's right, I might actually get a little bit of hail here tonight. All right. We have no tornado warnings. We have a few severe storms in northwest Texas, the big country. And then we have very heavy rains producing flash flooding in portions of southern North Texas. That'll translate back into East Texas. Yeah, you're fine driving to work between Denton and McKinney right now. In fact, you can see this model thinks the DFW Metroplex isn't going to have really anything to deal with through the day, which could be right. And then we might just have a bunch of rain tomorrow. All right, now we'll take a look at that severe weather outlook. Make sure this is the latest outlook. It should be, but I'm going to make sure it is. So again, this is the latest severe weather outlook that was issued a few minutes ago from the Storm Prediction Center. Notice the potential for scattered to several severe thunderstorms through the afternoon tonight into Wednesday morning. the Big Country, the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, the Rio Grande Plains, South Texas, South Central Texas, the Coastal Bend, the Coastal Plains, Southeast Texas, Central Texas, South Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, into East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle around Beaumont, East Texas, the Piney Woods of East Texas, the Arklatex, and again, the potential for large hail, damaging winds, the potential for a few tornadoes, and that threat will continue. It may be kind of quiet this afternoon and evening, honestly, with a lower or fewer number of storms, and then a big old line of storms coming in tonight. And again, looking at the tornado risk, you can see the Storm Prediction Center maintains a very low to medium risk for tornadoes tonight, this afternoon into tonight and Wednesday morning across Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, East Texas, Southeast Texas. And again, that's where that big cluster of storms coming in at like 4 a.m. Wednesday for those areas. So please be mindful that while it may be kind of quiet this afternoon and evening, it's going to get rowdy pants late tonight into Wednesday morning. So, let's switch back to the radar for the state. And you can see overall at this point, we got flash flooding. We got heavy rain. We have no tornado warnings. We have a few severe storms in northwest Texas and the Big Country capable of producing gusty winds, maybe quarter-size hail. We're going to have to watch these storms in central Texas, the Brazos Valley, through early afternoon. For the potential of some tornado potential, heavy rain, gusty winds, and hail. But by far, it looks like the most pressing issue this morning through at least the next few hours in portions of the northern Brazos Valley, southern North Texas, East Texas, will be flooding. As this activity moves back towards Tyler, Longview, the potential for flooding to expand up there. As it stands now, we got flash flood warnings on Interstate 45 from Salado north through Belton, Temple, Troy, Bruceville, Eddy, Lorena, Hewitt, Waco, Belmead, west. And then we got flash flood warnings extending back west to Killeen, Gatesville, where we have new storms forming all the way northeast up through Hubbard, Dawson, Corsicana, Rice, Currens, down 45 through Richland, Streetman, Fairfield, Dew, Tige, Mahia, Groesbeck, Thornton, Ben-Hur, Mart, Otto, Perry, Marlin. And then some of these storms in northwest Texas, the Big Country with some hail. But again, with that high-res model I showed you a wee bit earlier, and I'll just bring it back up. We're going to have somewhat isolated, localized severe weather potential continue through the afternoon, through the evening. But our most substantial severe weather threat, honestly, is probably going to be late tonight and Wednesday morning, the pre-dawn hours through sunrise. That's when I think we're going to be the busiest, at least in terms of widespread damaging winds, hail, and the threat for a few tornadoes, at least. And again, you can see this afternoon, this evening, yeah, we're going to have isolated supercell potential with some severe weather potential. Then this evening, tonight, that big cluster of storms is going to move from Laredo all the way northeast through portions of the coastal plain, south central Texas, the Brazos Valley, southeast Texas, east Texas, through even after 4 a.m. That's going to continue through 8 a.m. Some of those storms, even in the middle of the night through sunrise Wednesday, could have tornadoes, hurricane-force wind gusts, and hail and flooding. So it's going to be a rowdy morning, Wednesday morning, across those areas, southeast Texas. All right, here's what we're going to do. Knock on wood, but I think, considering the fact, well, clearly I'm going to have to be doing severe weather coverage most of late tonight into Wednesday morning. I am going to try, maybe optimistically, please and thank you, to get a little more sleep. Since I'm at 3 hours, I'd like to get a little more than that, maybe another 2. Boy, that'd be great. So, what we're going to do is, Mr. Yason, are you listening? We'll see if Jason's around. I was going to offer to let him just pretty much do intermittent updates, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a break from the...
I'm here.
Okay, what do you want to do? You just want me to say we're coming back later, or do you want to essentially take over and do intermittent updates? I'm fine with either, honestly. We've got the radar stream running.
You could come back later. I'll redirect TSC folks to Steven Stream, and I could do radar stream for TWC.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we've got Storm Chaser Stephen Jones. He's in the Brazos Valley keeping an eye on these storms. So y'all can go watch his storm chasing stream if you want to watch storm chasing video. Otherwise, this stream on the Texas Weather Center YouTube channel will redirect to our 24/7 weather channel, which has radar warnings, all that stuff going. And if we have any new tornado warnings, we'll be back. But I am hopeful I can go get a little more sleep since we're going to be busy tonight into Wednesday morning. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radars. You can watch live storm chasing video, live severe weather coverage in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. You can also watch the interactive weather radar on our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar. You can also watch Storm Chaser Stephen Jones live stream from his storm chase adventures in the Brazos Valley this afternoon. So with that being said, again, yeah, if we don't get sleep, my hair will fall out. Yeah, thank? Yes, sir, Bob. So we'll be back. I promise you that, but hopefully not too soon. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe it is time for me to go take a nap. I'm so excited. We'll be here. We'll be keeping an eye on things. Y'all have a good morning. No, stop that.
A new flash flood warning has been issued for Bell County in Texas.
We'll be back.